Jamal, Niaz here with Jack McGann at the return of Tyson Fury press conference. Jack, how does it feel to finally be here, making your boxing debut?
I'm made up. It's been a long process. It's been a good few months, but and there's been a few fights that we've had to push back because of scheduling issues and all that. But it's finally happening, and looking back, I'd like to have waited. I'm happy that we did wait because I'm on this massive build. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm so grateful.
The weight probably hasn't been that bad for you though, because you're constantly, in essence, you're always constantly in a training camp. I mean, you can tell by your face now. You've been sparring, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, it's not so much that. It's just I'm a competitor and I like competing. And come June, I won't have fought in 11 months, and that's come up from someone who fights 5 times a year, 6 times a year. So that's burnt me out a little bit, but I can't complain because I am going into boxing, so it's given me more time to pick up a few little tricks.
Has that been the longest period you've been absent from competing?
Yeah, before that it was 7 months, because that was because something mad happened. I forget what. I wasn't injured. It was something weird with the promotion, and I couldn't fight. I wasn't allowed to. But the 11 months is the longest.
You had a bit of a roller coaster year last year in MMA. You went through the ups and downs that goes with that sport. Do you think that, coupled with the absence, has lit a fire in you that can't be matched?
Yeah, and you know, I know there's a lot of people with big fights on this card, but I think I'm one of the more ones who I've got a lot to prove on this, because I am coming in from an MMA background. I've never boxed ever in my life, not amateur, not a white collar, nothing, not unlicensed anything. So there's a lot of people going to be thinking that I don't belong here, but I've got to prove them wrong.
What are the details of the deal with Frank Warren? How many fights have you signed for? Has that been made specific yet?
Yeah, it's a multi-fight deal. And you know, me being on this card shows Frank's trust in me. He wouldn't just throw me on this card if he didn't think something special was going to happen. Do you know what I mean? I haven't sat there and blagged him, and I'm just on this card, and I've been giving him all these promises that I'm dead good at boxing and everything. And when we first started talking to him, he sent his brothers down to watch me spar one of Britain's best boxers just before he was fighting, and that was like a test, and I passed it. So this is his faith in me.
Is Tyson Fury one of the guys that you'll watch in the gym for pointers and of how to hit and not get hit?
Yeah, definitely. And you know, I know he's like 6'9". I'm not saying I'm not big, but I am definitely at my weight tall. So watching someone who is a rangy fighter, it's good. Plus as well, he's so entertaining. You'd watch him anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Do you have any idea of how many rounds this will be? Will it be a 6-rounder? Yeah.
That's one of the important things. I didn't want to start again. To get me, I didn't want to throw all that experience I've got in MMA away. I didn't want to just waste that. So, in my last few fights, I was fighting some of the best in the world on one of the biggest shows. So I didn't want to just start again. So that's why we're starting on a 6-rounder against a good guy who's only ever fought good guys as well. So I'm not taking the usual path, but that's because I'm not starting from the usual place.
Judging from what you've experienced in sparring so far, how different is it? Because in MMA you set up punches with kicks and knees to the body, knees to the head. How different is the approach to striking now? Is it something you've had to adapt to? Yeah,
definitely. You know, there's a few little things I've picked up on, but I have picked up on them quick. But I think as well, you know, in MMA, because there is so many different aspects of it, you do face more awkward people, because some of them are better at kicking and punching and setting this up and this, and you know, so you do. In my career in fighting, I've been in front of a lot of different people who move a lot of different ways, but just as far as the boxing goes, there's been a few little things I've had to pick up, like for instance, fighting on the inside, because you know, in MMA, when you get grabbed, the ref doesn't jump in and split you up. You keep going. You keep going. So there's been a few little differences there, but not a major. And the differences in the rounds as well. Like you've got longer rounds, so you can't afford. Like in MMA, it's 3 5s and 5 5s for the title or the main event. So in fighting 3 rounds, if you lose a round, then you're fighting it's much desperate. Then you know what I mean. But in boxing, especially if you're fighting 6 rounds, which I am. You know, if you win 5 rounds, you can cruise if you want, or you can take the rounds off, or you can afford to lose a round or whatever. There's a lot more into it in that sense as well, more strategic. So it is definitely different.
You'll be having Owen Roddy in your corner on fight night. How pivotal has he been in your growth as a fighter over the years?
massive. You know, I've known Owen for years. He's our old mate, and you know, I've been over there, and he's been over to us. And if his lads are fighting in England, he'll send them over. He'll come and stay in ours. We're really close to him, and you know, he's cornered me in some of my fights before, and he's vital to me where I am today.
You've been on some of the biggest stages in MMA, but how will this compare, do you think?
It's going to be massive, but I think one of the biggest things as well, I haven't fought in England, even though I've been really busy fighting, apart from this 11 months. I haven't, before that I was really busy, and I haven't fought in England in over 2.5 years, so I'm really excited to put on a show for all my mates and everyone else, but as I said before, I've got a lot to prove on the night. I've had no boxing fights, I shouldn't be yet.
Do you think your experience going over to Russia, over there, it's a very bold career move for someone so young? Do you think that sets you apart from most of the opponents?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I'm not gonna. I'm not so much. I wouldn't be so much nervous about being in a big show because I've been under big lights. I've main evented in arena shows with 20,000 people before. From Siberia to Moscow to Russia to Dagestan, everywhere. So it wouldn't be so much that. It's just the main thing for this is I've got a lot to prove in this fight.
Well, I'm excited to see you make that pro debut finally. Thanks a lot, Jack.